tcDetects back out with the Quest V80. I'm on a field that's got some, so it's picked up there, there's a telegraph line up there, and it goes across the field. There's also a gas pipe over there. So we're going to try and see how the EMI runs and how it affects the V80 as we go under the telegraph line. There is some power lines way over that way, so I doubt it'll pick them up, you never know. And there's a wind turbine on a farm down there, but it doesn't seem to be moving at the minute, so I'm not sure I'll pick anything up from that. But yeah, kind of doing a little test with V80 to see whether or not and how it does with some ambient EMI in this field. Got both coils with me as well, so I'm going to try swap coils at some point, starting with the smaller coil, which is the one I've not had an EMI issue with as yet. Then we'll move on to the big coil, which was the one that I had the big EMI issues with a couple of videos ago. So we'll give that a whirl, see if we can't get it, see how it runs in a different field with some EMI and see if it picks it up again. Not sure if that EMI issue was a one-off, that particular field, something else going on. And of course I am new to the machine as well, so I'm picking up the settings, those sort of things. So yeah, we'll see how we get along with the V80 this afternoon. Right, we're going to head for the actual gas pipe down there, so you can see it over there, and then move across to the other side, just on the basis that if they put the gas pipes in, they've had to dig a hole and a trench to put that gas pipe in. So we're going to sort of follow the line of where that trench would have been, just to see if it's thrown anything closer to the surface. Right, thank you as always for watching tcDetects. Let's go see if we can find some stuff. And the first signal is just down there, about 6 inches down, and we have a relatively chunky buckle. Don't think particularly old, probably off horse tack rather than clothing. But yeah, buckle first up. And next up, and again from about 6 inches down, first coin on the second signal I've dug, so Quest to do note on that. But a couple of things to note. So we've got a threepenny bit, which is not being picked up when I've been over this field with other detectors, so some edge to it. Quest was giving it in the ground with a little bit of iron. I dug it because it wasn't high on the iron scale, but need to watch that with the Quest. Over time, no doubt I'll get used to what is really iron when it indicates some versus what isn't, because there's none here, although there's some tarnish on the coin, so that could be, I guess, tripping it. When I run the coin over the coil out now, it doesn't come up with any iron, so there you go. Bit of a scratchy one here. Mostly into the iron, but not always. And see what that is, see if there's any iron in it or if it's something else. It's not the greatest signal in the world. Yeah, a bit all over, but given I'm getting used to the machine, got to dig those and work out what it's saying. It's out in the clod now. Potentially giving complete iron signal. Just double check and make sure that's what it is. Try and do this live. So in this case, where the iron indication was higher in the graph, it would appear that whatever it found is here, and we do have a piece of wire, rusty wire, so I guess that was indicating correct. And next signal was down here. It was very scratchy, it was sort of buried underneath a bunch of stones, so it wasn't the clearest signal, but something about it, something that was persistent, especially when I got it on the right angle. I can just see a bit of green here, so I suspect we have a button or a coin, probably a coin on this particular field because there's hundreds of them come up here. We have a, so George the Fifth penny, I think, half penny maybe, yeah, half penny. So yeah, another coin for the Quest. Okay, so we've switched to the larger coil. So this is the one I was having issues with EMI with on a separate field, not this field. One thing I've just noticed when switching coils is whilst most of the settings when you switch the machine off and then switch it back on stay the same. So it's picked up that I was in P1 in HyperQ. It didn't pick up my sensitivity setting. So I'd had it at 80 and it started again at 70. So when you switch on and off or you switch coils or anything like that, then do make sure you double check your sensitivity. So I'm going to run it in 80. I'm going to go down that side of the field. There's a footpath that runs across it down there. So I'm going to follow the footpath this time rather than the line of the trench of the gas pipe. Again, it's going to take me, in fact the footpath runs almost parallel to the telegraph line, so it's going to take me past the source of EMI. Let's see if we have any issue with EMI this afternoon. The other thing I did notice as well is it is relatively easy to accidentally switch all iron on as well when you're messing about with your settings, so just watch out for that. There's a little symbol that comes up here with an A and a sort of an I symbol. I think that's what it is. But yeah, easy to slip into that, so double check your settings when you're moving between cores, switching on and off and those sort of things. Right, see if we can find anything this afternoon, see how it runs. And first signal with the V80 with a large coil this afternoon, and is another little coin, looks like a penny. Yep, so post decimal penny, only about an inch down, decent signal, didn't really give any iron tone. I'm on a footpath, so I guess not too unexpected. Yeah, another coin. I've moved a little bit onto the second field where the footpath continues through because the telegraph is completely along the line of the footpath. So again along there, Quest is in a sensitivity 80, like I said, larger coil, not getting any EMI from telegraph lines, so that's good. Just come from over here, I'm right on the footpath and dug a signal, a bit scratchy. I think it was on its side when I dug through it, but we've got what looks like another coin. Now, regular viewers to my channel will know that this is my sort of go-to test field because there's a footpath runs all the way down it and through it. I've had well over 100 Georgian Victorian coins off here because there used to be a pub right at the bottom of this footpath, not there anymore, was demolished in the 1920s I think, but this was the footpath from the village down to that pub. Lots of quarrying going around here, so I reckon all the quarrymen would spend their hard-earned wages in that pub and lose some of them when drunk on this footpath. So I've had every machine I've ever owned on this footpath apart from the Quest first time on it, and yet we have another Georgian, by the look of it, coin, looks like a halfpenny of some description, right on the footpath. So I must have been over this with every other machine and they've missed it or not give a good enough signal for me to warrant digging it, whereas the Quest did today. It's very moist, so maybe that's helping as well. But yep, there we go, little halfpenny, one of the Georges. Too muddy for me to bother try and clean it at the minute, but you can see we've got another pre-decimal Georgian coin in a place where I wouldn't expect to find one, or rather I wouldn't expect there to be any left. So yeah, well done Quest. And again from about 6-7 inches down we have a very, very small, I think it's a button or a part of a button, could be a small coin, nothing on it so hard to tell, very thin though, so I made it thinking button rather than coin. Scratchy signal, difficult in terms of pinpoint, so again deep and probably on its side, not only little, but the V80 again finds something I would have expected to be picked up by one of the other machines that have been on here. Interesting. So out with the Quest V80 this afternoon, trying to replicate the issues I was having the other week with the stability of it with EMI. Not had any issues with it on either coil this afternoon, despite being literally under a telegraph line. Nothing at all, been fine. I still think the iron indicator, the iron graph, that is very similar to the one in the Legend, is a little bit unreliable. You need to be careful with that. Not as good. I'm not as confident in it as I am with the Legend. Having said that, I've got more hours in with the Legend than the V80. Having said all of that, the build quality is really good. The design's really good. And it has found things on this field and on this footpath in particular that I didn't expect, because this field has been hit with about 6 or 7 different setups, different detectors, different coils. Quest V80 has still found other things.